There's a chance we might have to go on a bit of a day trip today. Hoi hoi folks, and welcome to today's video. My name's Sean, aka Uncle Frogface. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. So yeah, as I said, we might have to nip out today, and I'll probably take you along with me for that, because I have over here, well, I was in a shop in town months ago, and I found these beads, which come in lots of different names, but these are the kind of fusible beads. So I have these, and I have these little balls as well for it. And then a couple of weeks after that, I was in Hobbycraft and I found a similar thing but with brighter colours, so I got those as well. And then I've been doing some research about these, and it turns out you can actually do some very elaborate things with them, but the boards that I've got are way too small, and I've never really played with these before at all. So what I'm going to do is head out. I'm going to go to Hobbycraft, where I've got these brightly coloured ones, because they seem to have quite a big selection last time I went there. And I'm just going to see what they have. I'm going to pick up a few bits, and then we're going to have a bit of a play around, a bit of an experiment with these beads today, see what we can do. And yeah, we'll just have a bit of a play. So let's get on the road. Oh my goodness, the outside world is so hot and sunny today, but hey ho, let's get going. Okay, so I have just parked up outside my local Hobbycraft, which actually is not that local because, yeah, I live in rural North Wales. And I'm going to say something quite bizarre now, but I'm actually having a little bit of anxiety. So it's weird because my anxiety is weird. I mean, I'm currently sat in my car, in a car park, publicly talking to myself, recording a video. I've got absolutely no problem with that. I'm not going to show you the rest of my car because it's an absolute mess. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be singing with my choir, the Proud Marys, at Diva Fest in front of potentially thousands of people. Absolutely no problem with that. What is giving me anxiety is the last time that I came to this Hobbycraft, which was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they were completely changing everything around. So they were in the middle of changing where everything is, changing the layout of the store, everything. I've been coming to this store for about 3 years now, since we moved up from London. And the fact that I now don't know where anything is, and I'm going to have to go around and explore, and there's potential of someone coming up to me and saying, "Can I help you? Do you need anything?" Bizarrely, that is what's giving me anxiety. Can anyone else relate to this, when, you know, you're so used to something and then it changes and then it just fills you with this kind of weird dread? Anyway, that's how I'm feeling right now. So I think I'm gonna there's a McDonald's just over here somewhere. I think I'm gonna pop over there and grab myself a little bit of breakfast and make myself feel nice and calm. That's my excuse anyway for an Egg McMuffin. So I'm gonna go and grab some breakfast, then let's go and let's head into Hobbycraft, see if we can find any perler beads, hammer beads, picture beads, whatever you want to call them. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Okay, that's breakfast done. Let's, oh, you got very close to me then. Let's head on into the shop and let's see how anxiety inducing this actually is. There we go. There's actually some over here as well, which are their own brand ones. So yeah, I think I'm going to pick up some of these as well. Also, look at all this Halloween stuff. Look. Velvet pumpkins. I love them. I might have to buy a bunch of them. Not today, but I'll definitely come back. Well, that was horrible, but yeah, I've managed to get what I need to get. Big bag here. I'll show you everything when I get back home and get into the office. This is really shaking around, isn't it? Bear with me. I just need to take a deep breath and maybe have a cup of tea. Right, okay. There we are, much better. Tea, bag. I'm even wearing shorts today. Yes, it really is that warm. Let's take these sunglasses off. Don't need those anymore. But oof. In fact, speaking of the heat, I think I might have a little bit of heat stroke from a few days out in the car doing the day job. But yeah, I'm back. I have this big bag of stuff, so it feels like a game show, doesn't it? Let's see what's in the bag. But yeah, let me bring it over here. I'll show you what I've already got and what I've picked up today. Well, hello and welcome to my desk. So right, let's start with how this all began. So I was in this shop, which is called Sostring Green. I don't know if it's a franchise or what. It's a shop that's in Chester. And I picked these up for £1.74 for 1,100 or 1,100 of these fuse beads. In a kind of, oh, you know what, I might be able to do something with those. And I got this pack, I had a few different ones, because it's got some kind of semi-transparent ones in there, it's got some metallic ones in there. I thought it would be fun to play around. They're fairly pale, pastel, muted colours. Now I thought, if I got this, I need to have the boards to use for it as well. And this cost £1.74 from the same shop. And let's open this up. These are the boards that these little beads go on. So you put all the beads on here, put a piece of parchment paper over the top, iron them, and they fuse together. That's essentially how these work. So I'm going to be referring to these today as picture beads. But they come in lots of different brands. As I mentioned before, some people just call them hammer beads, or perler beads, or fuse beads, or picture beads. I'm just going picture beads. It's a more generic term. So anyway, I got these, and they've been waiting around. As often is the case, I will get things to make videos with, and then they sit at the side because I either don't have the time or other things come up and I get distracted by other things. So I've got a big collection of things that need to be worked on reviewed. I've got one where I want to make a picture with just Crayola crayons, but anyway, get distracted again. Yeah, I had these and I thought, yeah, I'll make something out of them. And then a couple of weeks after getting these, I was in Hobbycraft and I found this pack, which is a much more brightly coloured pack. They're exactly the same. They're these 5mm beads. It's 1,000 in this one, but they're much brighter colours. And I thought, you know what, having those two mix and match might be fun. So I have got, well, 2,100 beads here, so 2,100 beads in lots of various colours. But I thought to myself, you know what, this reminds me very much, doing a little bit of research, because yes, I know I am a professional idiot and I usually just dive in without doing my research, but I've actually done some research on this, a little bit, and yeah, this is very much in the vein of cross-stitch or mosaics or pixel art. It has that same vibe. So I thought, you know what, I'm probably going to want to do larger projects. So this might be great for a little tester, but what about when I want to progress from there and do other things? So I wanted to go out and get a couple of extra bits. So I popped into Hobbycraft today, as you know, and picked up, well, firstly, this was on sale. This is the hammer pegboards. As you can see, in comparison to this one, it's 4 times the size of this, and there are 4 in there, so that is a huge amount, and I believe they just clip together. And whilst I was there, this was on sale, so that was only £6 something. And then Hobbycraft have their own ones where there's a large circle, a heart, and another of these square ones which has the same clip. So we'll test and see whether it clips onto the hammer ones. This was £4 for these ones. They did also have their own version of these where it's just the square ones, but actually with this one being on sale, this worked out being cheaper, so I went for the hammer ones. So I've got all of those pegboards, and I found this. So this is a 6,000 tub of beads. So yeah, just to add to what we've already got in here, it's essentially the same colours, the same beads, but there are 6,000 of them. So I might just empty these into there. We'll have a tub of 7,000 essentially. And I thought, you know what? I know what pixel art is like. There's a lot of black, there's a lot of white, and with the variation in here and all the different colours, they're going to run out very quickly. So I did a smart thing, people. I renounced my idiocy and I did a smart. So I got these picture beads just in black and white because I know I'm going to need these. So the intention for today is to have a little bit of a play around. I think I'll have a little bit of a play around on, yeah, maybe one of these small ones. You know what, that might be nice for, let me test. Yeah, I might make myself a little coaster for the desk with the circle one. We've got this one as well, which might be nice for a little optical illusion because it's a hexagon. Hexagons are great for optical illusions. But yeah, that's the plan. We'll have a little bit of a play around, a little bit of an experiment, and then I'll crack these out. We'll have a look at how they fit together, and we might try and do something a little bit larger today with the intention of doing a much bigger project in the future. And I have to say, big shout out and a thank you to all of my Patreons, because I definitely 100% use Patreon donations to pay for all of these beads and everything else here. So massive thank you, massive shout out to them. If you've got any suggestions on what you would like to see me make with these, then please do leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think I should be making, and maybe I'll put it to a vote in the future and we'll see what people want to see me doing. But for now, let's start by making just a little coaster. Okay, so now that has done, I've put it on this MDF board to protect my desk. I've got a couple of pieces of parchment paper, and I've got my iron over here on a medium heat with no steam at all. Very important that there's no steam. And then I'm going to place a piece of parchment paper over the top of this, and very gently just press down. Nice even heat. I think this is how it's done. And these should start, yeah, I can see some of them sticking to the paper. There we go. Can you see they're starting to show through? I think that means that they're fusing. So let's just do a nice even press, little circular motions. It's definitely getting there. It's actually quite fun. It's actually, yeah, it's very chilled. It's a very chilled activity to do. There we go. Right. Looking good, I think. If I peel this... Oh yeah, that's looking great. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slide this off the side. Use the MDF board to turn this over. There we are. And take off the pegboard very gently. There we go. And place a piece of parchment on this side. And then do the same, give this a nice flat press. Now, I believe there's something called an open press and a closed press. So the more you heat it, the more the beads melt and kind of fuse together. It gives a more kind of pixelated look. So I might try just giving it a little bit more heat just to see what happens. And again, I'm using this on a medium heat, so I don't want to go too hard too quickly and burn it all. But this is, I think it's looking okay. I think it's looking good. What I will do, yeah, there we go. I'm actually going to turn this over and do the other side again as well. There we are. Why not? Okay, I think we're getting a good press. I'm going to turn the oven off. I'm going to put this on the desk and I'm going to put this board actually on top of it. There we are, just to give it a bit of weight and keep it nice and flat. We'll come back when this is all cooled down and I'll show you what we are left with. Okay, I think that's probably been enough time for it to cool down. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's still slightly warm, but actually... Oh! Oh, okay. So it seems like some of it has fused very well, and some of it is still quite open. But actually, considering this a test piece, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind it, honestly. I do like this very closed look. It is definitely more pixely. You can see the light Okay, you can see the paper through that. But yeah, really, really nice. Okay, I'm going to go and have my lunch. Now when I come back, I'm going to think about what I'm going to do next. We'll do something slightly larger, a little bit more ambitious. Okay, right, I've had a little bit of a break. I've come back. This is very solid. It has a little bit of flex in these, but wow, that is solid. So that's also really good to know. This actually is too small for a coaster. I suspected it might be, but look, my cup completely covers that over, so it's a little bit too small. I'll hang it up somewhere. It'll be a nice little decoration. We've got this nice optical illusion there. So yes, one piece down. I want to, let's just move this out of the way. You see I've got my iPad up here as well because I've been looking at some patterns. Let's have a little look at these boards from Hobbycraft. So these are the own brand ones of theirs. And in here we've got a larger circle, which is a different kind of grid to the square ones. This is all uniform. This is actually in a circle, so you'd be able to do triangles and stuff like that on there. And then this one is the heart, and this, interesting, is it? It is, so it is a grid all the way around, but it goes off the grid at the top, which is interesting. So this is all gridded, and then as we go up, the grid distorts, which is a little bit bizarre. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. And then of course we've got this one, which is the clear plastic square, the same as these hammer ones over here. So let's open this up. There we go, and this looks exactly the same except in white. It all lines up. Can we snap these together? How do they snap together? Do they just push together? It feels like they want to go, but they're not quite. Are these easy to snap together? Let's see. They go a certain way. Let's have a look. Right. Oh yeah, that fits together really nicely. That's mega easy. What about this one? If I try to snap this onto here. Oh, it does go. There we go. Just needs a little bit more of a push. So we've got extra if we need it. But we actually have, so we've now got 5 of these squares that all fit together. I don't think I'm going to need a grid this big for what I'm doing today, but in the future potentially might need a much bigger grid. Talking about what we are doing today, let's move some of this rubbish out of the way because it's starting to clutter up the desk now. Right, so I said I've got my iPad up here. That's because I've been looking at patterns on Pinterest that might work, and when I'm looking at patterns, because this is a simple grid, I'm looking at cross stitch, I'm looking at pixel art, I'm looking at bead patterns. There are plenty of them out there if you go and look. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet, but yeah, I'm going to do something a little bit larger than this, which I don't think is going to be too difficult to do something a little bit larger than that. So yeah, I think we should get cracking. Right, okay, are we ready for the grand reveal? Let's move this out of the way. Oh, it's looking good so far. Hey, look at that. Let's move these pieces off. I am very pleased with that indeed. And the idea is that this is going to go on top like that. Give that a little bit of three-dimensionality as well. In fact, let me get a little bit of double-sided tape and I can stick this into place. Perfect! Well, except that the double-sided tape is not sticking. I'm going to stick down with some glue. I'm just going to tack it in place. But there you go. That is our finished piece. I've had a really lot of fun working with these beads. They're a lot more fun than I thought they were going to be initially. It was just like a little, oh, maybe we can do something with that. But actually, there's a lot of nostalgia in this pixel art. So I'm really, really pleased with this. And of course, we've got our little tester piece over here. I will say, I've used quite a lot of green today. There's still plenty left. But yeah, there's no green in there's a couple, and in this one there's a couple as well, but there's not really a load. So separating them out and knowing how much of each colour you've got, probably a good thing. You can buy these in packs, as I say, like this. It's 1,000 black beads, got 1,000 white beads, so having them in bags like that probably going to be much more useful in the future. But yes, do leave a comment down below, tell me what you think I should do in the future with these beads, because they're just a little bit of fun. Maybe we can do some live streaming or something with them. As always, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until next time, goodbye.